So I've been working around here for about a week. So let me show you. Do a walk around. Maybe some people want to see after. So people are wondering like what the state of the site is and how far ahead am I in the videos. Well, you can see I'm not that far ahead. In fact, we're kind of right with time. It's been really wet in Ontario, extremely wet. We've been struggling with just like thunderstorm after thunderstorm. It's crazy wet. So that's caused a lot of problems for me. We have, well, I'm trying to get the wood in. So our new toy is the Argo. And if you saw my post earlier this week, I had to, I was really struggling. I spent a day, I got it stuck one day. I spent the whole next day getting it unstuck in mud, from mud in the trail. So the trail is this way behind me. That's the trail. And instead of going straight through, I created a new trail a little bit off to the right. And it's better. It's not as flat, but the Argo doesn't have a problem running over everything. So we'll see how it goes. That's going to be probably in the next video or the video after that. So yeah, so just kind of getting that path in. So got the Argo and been loading the lumber on top. So I just brought a load in about half an hour ago. And this is my attempt at trying to keep it not rotting. When it rains, like you can't really see it right now. When I saw it the first day, it looked all right. But if you look at that top beam, it like when it gets wet, it almost looks like it's moldy, you know, and that's maybe a problem with greenwood. And it's just not getting any time to dry out up here. This was just a temporary thing, by the way. Like if you saw the ridge of the roof is going to be going lengthwise. I just did that because I wanted to have a tarp over it, but that only lasted about a few days after I left. So give me a sec. I'm going to do my little walk around here for a sec. And then when I get back over to the computer, I can look at the comments. I also have some like curated questions if there's not enough questions in the chat. So yeah, so the Argo, the General Lee, bought it off a gentleman named John in Southern Ontario, and fixed it up. And so yeah, lots of weight of lumber on top, and yeah, there were some things that had to be repaired. The chains need to be replaced for sure, but they'll be all right for the next little bit. And then my makeshift power system, which is I charged the batteries with the generator for now, and I didn't want the generator running during the live stream because it's annoying. So the batteries are powering Starlink. Yeah, and then today we never really had a good fire pit out here. So today part of the time was to build this nice little fire pit, which there's no stones around here. There's no rocks or stones. I've seen a few. They're massive, you know, like the size of a small car. But if you want like little stones, like river stones and stuff, even at the river, there's no stones. So, okay. So let's let me take a look at some of these questions here. Okay. Coming from Germany. Yeah, so it's 5 o'clock, 5:30 right now. 5:10. Hello from my off-grid property in Minnesota, Mr. Jones. Thank you. Good to hear from you as well. When will the next video be out? Well, it's going to be next Friday, because I'm up here, and yeah, editing is kind of like a full-time job. Same problem. I don't know how to solve it, but they have. I've seen another channel to have the same problem. Jeff said that. I don't know. The problem with the road, I guess. So I basically hammered through the bush. I put the drone up and I flew over and kind of looked at, first of all, what was a good line, because the Argo likes to go straight. Um, and then I went in and I just, with the chainsaw, I started cutting trees down like mad. And then they're not big trees, they're all 4 or 5 or smaller. And then chopped them into like 6-foot sections and I laid them all out. And it's funny because the places where there was dirt, put the I never put the branches down. But the places where there was water and stuff, I put the branches down. And after a few rips in and out, the spots where there was dirt is now mud. So I had to go actually today and start putting some more sticks in the spots that I didn't put sticks. But it's interesting. Yeah. Pennsylvania here, 10 p.m. here. So these are people out Europe way, I guess, or UK. Yeah. It's only portrait mode. Yeah. Okay. So the plan, I didn't know how I was going to run this the live chat, and I'll do more and I'll get better at it. But I kind of wanted to have the phone so I could walk around instead of like plugging in a camera. Looks fancy. It'll work. Jeff said it'll work. Yo, live, what fun. I really enjoy watching you build the homestead. Thanks, John. Yeah, it's like we enjoy. Now, next time Becca will be here, so that'll be good. She's always so busy, which is all right. But she's going to be up here, and that's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of comments where people are like, "Oh, let's build the, do things really fast," and yeah, we're not. That's not really the goal. We want to have fun. Like I was talking to a buddy just this morning, and before I came out, and he said, "Yeah, just remember, you're doing this to have fun." And yeah, through all the trouble and problems, yeah. Hello from Ontario. Well, we're in Ontario, Ontario as well. So cool. Boston, we had 14 Saturdays in 14 Saturdays in a row with rain. We are actually, like, it's crazy. Like, today is going to be sunny. You'll see in the video, like, some of the videos, like, I wrapped the Ziploc bag over the camera, and I was just hammering it in the rain, like, pulling the Argo. I got the Argo out, and that was fine because I was up into my eyeballs in mud anyways, totally, totally, what do you call it, like coated in mud. So you'll see those videos. It'll be interesting. My Roger always says, yeah, I think people like to see things not working out, so you can have fun watching you get stuff with your Argo. That you're way ahead of your videos, but that looks really good. No, and that's why I'm showing this, right? I'm not way ahead of the videos. Actually, I skipped some video content because people were upset. They were like, "Oh, we don't want to watch the past, and we just want things live." So that's going to create some other problems. But there is other video content that maybe like I can work in as like flashbacks sometimes in a video, like, "Oh, this happened back then." But that's all right. No, we're not. And so yeah, I love the Starlink reboot. Thank you. Yeah, and it's still working. So, Angela, great news on the Argo. This will get you through the muskeg. Well, yeah. I mean, I hope. Although, yeah, I got it stuck. What I need now is tracks for the Argo. But as long as I can use it here on the land and move stuff from, like, it's been a while since I've been able to freely move stuff from the river to the clearing here, which is doing layers. At least that's how we do it here. Interesting. Um, yeah, like it has just been so freaking wet that I had wood stacked out outside a prepping area, and it got moldy. Um, and I had stacked it with wood strips in between for ventilation, and I put a tarp just over top to keep the rain from raining down on it. But yeah, there's mold, and so I took a whole trailer load of it down to where I could get to a pressure washer and pressure wash it all off. So put up a poster. Crazy idea. Payload. Zip line. Zip it over the train. Yeah, I mean, I've heard other people what do they call that? Like a cable car, right? It's basically a cable car. Great small cat. Teacher, one robber is arrested. Uh, no, I haven't. We haven't had visitors. So as far as robbers go, thankfully the bear isn't sure. So I keep finding things that the bear did. He ripped the seat off the two up seat off the ATV, um, and he chewed into a jerry can in the collapsed tent, and the gas is like leaked into the ground, which really sucks. Um, but yeah, you think about it, like how hard do you have to bite on a jerry can to leave tooth marks into it? You know what I mean? Like crazy. Um, oh, okay. Is there some you say they can't hear? I'm good. How are the mosquitoes and black flies? There are no. I don't see black flies. They were here earlier, I guess. Um, yeah, I guess I just lucked out. I just kind of missed them. Mosquitoes definitely because it's really wet, but they have spray for mosquitoes, so it's not a problem. But the deer flies and the wasps. There's a lot of deer flies, and they're not bothering me. Um, but it's what you wear too. If you wear blue, I'm wearing blue. It's not the best, but if you wear black, like the deer flies land on you, and bite the heck out of you. So yeah. Um, but as far as the mosquitoes, yeah, and then the wasps, they haven't come out yet. But had I, in another month, if I was cutting through the forest, I probably would have gone through a couple wasp nests and got stung mad, right? Like they're brutal. So I would say the later in the season, kind of the worse the problems get. So, hey from Sweden, uh, cool. We're getting people from all over. Raleigh, North Carolina, awesome. The rain is keeping the fires down, though, isn't it? It is. And I think what's happening is Manitoba is getting killed. Um, there's a lot of fires out west, but here we don't have that problem. So, uh, yeah, I don't know, but I don't know which one's worse. um, okay, is it okay to show the? It's okay to show the past. Just give it a precursor of when it was recorded. Yeah, I think um, what people didn't like there's a lot of people that want to kind of a recurring comment was they want to give you suggestions, which is great. Because Roger helps me out, but other than that, like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm an engineer, not a bush person, so we're just kind of, and that's the fun of it, right? Just trying to figure it out. But yeah, so people want to, I guess this is, and it's weird. I've had a lot of conversation with people. They're like, when you watch something on TV, you know that it didn't just happen. But people assume if you don't say when it was recorded, or you don't tell people, like people just always assume that everything was just happening yesterday, like it was just recorded and just posted, because that's what people have come to expect. So um, yeah, Kawartha Lake. Okay, well, so north, like Fourth of Lake is like, you know, it's funny because I run into people up here and they're like, oh, those people up north. And it's like, well, we're way up north, right? But it doesn't matter how north you go. There's always people more north. And so L L is in Fourth of Lake, which is north to people in south, but south to us. The volume is really low. Can't hear anything but wind. That's not good. Why don't? How's that? If I get stuff in closer, is that better? Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem with yeah, technology. Okay, good, good. Thanks. Raspberry patch, yeah. So I found another raspberry patch because I was cutting the trail through. I found another raspberry patch. Yeah, in fact, south, there's tons of raspberry patches. We've never been to that area of our property. We've only explored like a very small area of the property, but we can see, we send the drone up and stuff like that. And there's a lot of raspberry patches over there. And I heard from somebody else that when people come through and log, now I don't know what the logging rules are, but they'll make these slash piles, and I know there's properties around here where there's slash piles that never got burned, but they build these slash piles, they burn the leftover wood, and then apparently the raspberries love it. So yeah, so the raspberries just kind of grow in, and I don't know, like as far as the berries go, there's a lot of berries. There's a lot of kind of little red berries close to the ground, and people left in the comments that there could be some other type of berry too. But those patches are definitely raspberry patches, and they are green. I have video of it that will be in either the next video or the video after that. But they're little green things right now, just because way up here, they'll probably be more like September. Things start late. The windsock thing would be good. Yeah. Oh, did I jump it past? Here, wait a second. Working on my 100 AC in Northern Ontario. Build a cabin. So watching every video is what you planning for mud. So yeah, so like in the muddy areas, like I said, I just cut the trees down and then laid the logs across, and cut, so it's like a corduroy road. It's not a great corduroy road. It's not like log like, but the Argo is pretty long. It's got a lot of tires, so like even if you put a log every 6 inches, it's gonna keep it from kind of going down into the mud. So that's awesome. Good. I'm glad that the audio is better now. Just stumbled on your channel and watched episode 3. Oh, wasn't it a wild adventure? Well, thanks. Thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. And yeah, it's been an adventure for us. And I was saying that earlier, like we're not in a rush. Like I do want to get the lumber up because I don't want to I figured I'd have the third wall up and the rafters up this right like by today, but the conditions were so bad that I just couldn't get anything in, so that kind of sucks. Attempted theft of the tractor. How much do you worry about your camp supplies next year? yeah, I do worry about stuff being stolen. I don't know. There's a community of people out here. It's mostly hunters, people hunting, and they. Let me straighten the camera because it's like my OCD's like. Yeah, the hunters are constantly, in the area, and we all kind of know each other and watch out for each other, so that's good. There hasn't been a lot of problems historically. Um, there was a guy who um, got into some trouble with the law, and then he came up here and was hiding out, and he was breaking into people's cabins to get like fuel and food, and that was it. He wasn't taking, you know. So as far as like people coming in, like I guess if you know where you're going, but this is a really unforgiving place. You got to be half crazy to want to come out here. So, and I mean, those thieves are. Wintertime's different. Wintertime, it's weird. I was just thinking about it today. Winter feels like a different world up here. It feels a lot more tame. Like, everything's asleep, everything's gone, and so as long as your sunshine doesn't get stuck, we're all right. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to think too much about, worried about things getting stolen. Have you thought of just chalk and dropping to make it? Well, that's basically, I guess, what I'm doing, right? Is what I did. Is I just just was hacking the trees and into 6 foot sections as I made the trail, and and I left big trees too because you want something to winch from. The old path was just alders, and you can kind of wrap the winch cable around a small little section of trees, but otherwise you want something kind of more substantial. Yeah, Canada. So Bill Fenwick. Hey Bill, how's it going? And I gotta say, like, Bill really came through for us earlier in the week. He gave us a super thanks, which was really, really awesome. And like, I was so low that day, just because like I spent a day getting the Argo out. The Argo was like, it was like stuck to the ground, and the winch on the Argo couldn't pull the Argo out. So I was using straps and a come along and like cranking it out. And so I got it out, and I was just beat up. And I went back to the trailer and crashed out. And the next morning I was so low, and I was kind of like, okay, I gotta like, keep working on a road or something. And then, but Bill came through, and like I don't know, it was just a huge morale boost to get this idea, like, people are watching, they care about what we're doing. So thanks, Bill. Like, thanks again. Yeah, that day, like, I just went and I worked longer than I've ever worked here. I think by the time, and again, it's midsummer, so I wasn't kind of conscious of the light, but by the time I got the Argo through into the land, all the way in, and then was ready to bring it. I think it was like 7:30 or something, which is late. It's you got to be kind of careful. You don't want to be able to kind of head down the river, make sure that you don't get into trouble. Anyways, will you move there full time? Wait, did I miss any? Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, we'll move. Yeah. I mean, the idea is to come here full time. I don't want to, eventually, right? We got a long ways to go before we're there. But the idea is not to live here. The idea is not to live kind of out. How do I explain it? Like, the idea is to have all the amenities. city but be, remote. And that's kind of the whole idea of the off-grid engineering. So like I'm working on machines to like drill the ground for water, and also for like ground source heat pumps and all that stuff. Like we want, dishwashers and, everything, right? So yeah, Canada is crazy expensive. Canada is ridiculous. If you do the math, to buy a house is about $1 million, and then with the mortgage, you're going to pay like another like $1 million in interest, so like $2 million, right? Well, I mean, everybody's with every mortgage, unless you're buying outright, you got to pay interest. Um, but yeah, it's just crazy right now. So how is it off grid if you are live on YouTube? Um, oh wait, sorry, we missed. Are you building a road from the river to the cabin or from an established? No, just from the just from the just from the river to the cabin. Is the it's not even a road, it's a trail. Um, and eventually, like if I had tracks on the Argo, it wouldn't be a problem. I think you can buy tracks, and then you can kind of go through a lot of mud. Um, but no, right now, we're kind of more focused on, um, we can't really build a road. I don't know. We'll have to look at that. But no, it's to an established road. Um, how is it? So, yeah, this off grid thing. Everybody wants to talk about what's off grid, right? Um, people early on, people would keep commenting, "You're not off grid." Well, so I don't know. Like, where would you consider off grid then? Um, like how, like somewhere where there's no satellites above you. Well, that's impossible now, right? No communication. We got the communication tower up. I think you can see it at the back. I don't know. So I mean, I think we are really out there. Like if it takes you an hour to walk to the nearest road, there's no sewer hookup, there's no gas, there's no electricity. That's kind of considered off grid. Typically, off grid, people call that, like, I, like there's no cell out here. In the wintertime, I can get a little bit of cell signal here. It's interesting. All the leaves are off the trees. But now, occasionally I can get a text message. But yeah, so I don't know. Um, Greetings from South Africa. Very cool. Yeah, it's awesome how small the planet is. And again, without Starlink, so I think people know that, right? But there's the Starlink dish, and of course I had to fix the Starlink. So, and it's different when I turn the Starlink on. It's pretty cool because suddenly I do have cell signal, or not cell signal, but I get Wi-Fi calling, which is awesome. It's pretty cool. Um, hmm. Are you a mech eng? No, I am an electrical engineer. So, um, Jerry, hi. Well, good luck on your current endeavors. I'm glad you're here promoting something better than just to be a random person. Yeah, crazy person. I go fast. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we just want to do something. We're doing something interesting, and we want to share it with people. I got a comment today that the channel is really wholesome, which is cool. That's kind of what we're looking for. That's what we're going for. We want to kind of do, I don't know, push a bunch of stuff and things like that. Yeah, so all is correct, I think, is like, you're off the grid. say off-grid is no provided infrastructure. Source power clean. Yeah, exactly. Hello from Mexico. Cool. How do you keep your batteries operating in sub-zero temps? Well, I mean, we haven't done that yet. We'll probably, once the cabin's done. So the cabin, the roof of the cabin, are gonna put solar panels on it, but they have batteries that are designed with heaters in them, and it's kind of a cool technology. And then what happens is it heats up. If when it's going to charge the battery, the power going into the battery actually runs the heaters first to warm the batteries up, and then the batteries, once they're warm, then they can start taking a charge. So, but I haven't looked into any of that yet. Off grid in a few years. Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I was talking to my mom. And I said, well, because a lot of our viewers are older fellas, according to the analytics, which is cool. I mean, I think that's probably our target. So it makes sense that would be it. But my mom said, "Oh yeah, because they're all well-to-do and they have a lot of money that they could do this stuff." And I'm like, "What? Like, man, like, we don't have anything fancy. We spend a lot of time like waiting to save up for things. We wanted an Argo for a while, and then we got a fixer-upper. So we're not blowing wads of cash on anything. We're just kind of, keeping it modest. So video looks pretty clean. How reliable has the Starlink? I think it is. Yeah, Starlink been. I don't know. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time on Starlink. Starlink was early on when I first got it. I first got it when I was down in the city. I just like SpaceX, and I thought, well, I'll support SpaceX by like getting a Starlink subscription. I'm big into kind of space and that kind of stuff, and I think SpaceX is doing some cool stuff. So, but I remember early, yeah, it was sketchy, it would drop, but it seems to be pretty reliable now. Anyways, what happened to the guys who stole the tractor? So the guys who stole the tractor did not go to court, and so there's a bench warrant for their arrest. So yeah, it is what it is. Looking to buy again from Australia, awesome. I'm looking to buy hunting property in a few years. I won't be buying 40, probably 40 acres. But a lot of the skills and lessons learned in Florida will help me. Yeah, for sure. And I think we did like we did the tax sale stuff, and that tax sale video is actually, there's still a lot of interest. There's a lot of people watching it, so I'm glad that I did do it. And I kind of feel like, if people aren't interested, they just kind of, it's funny because my mom's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't watch that video." And I'm like, "Why not?" She's, "Well, I'm not interested in tax sale." So if my mom will just skip the video, then I think everybody else can do it. But anyways, yeah, it's it's kind of a cool thing for people to know, right? Elle says, "So you're thinking you will be on lithium and not lead acid?" I think so. I don't know. I've designed and built battery packs with battery management systems and things like that. And I think just the charge density and the lightness, I don't know. I don't know if there's really a downside to the lithium. Cost. Are you building a ranch? I guess, does that mean like, am I gonna have cattle? Is that what that means? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. People treat honesty like a sin these days. I guess so. Yeah. Well, it's my phone. Is the audio still good, or is it the audio bad, guys? Or what? Okay, so I got some. I'm gonna go through some questions. Um, uh, is it so? There was a lot of questions about the tower. Is the tower stout enough to stand the wind for years, or will she need shoring up? It's doing well. What I should do is like, why don't we? It's not something I put in it. Let's see if it the Wi-Fi sticks. Um, so it might drop out because, well, maybe not. So the moose went through the electric fence a bunch of times, and I gotta repair it. And this tent fell down in the rain. But people are asking like, so here's the cable for the tower, and people said, oh, it's gonna grow so fast that the bolts are gonna pull through. And then it's growing a little. I did wind it in pretty deep, and anyways, so the tower's is all right. Yeah. So, anyways, the moose walked through one of the cables over there, where I've got the yellow rope, and yeah, I don't know how it did it. People said, oh, it can't be, but like the yellow rope and the metal cable snapped, and the tower didn't come down. So I don't think there anything else could have done it but a moose. You know, who knows? Yeah, sorry about the audio on the phone. I guess that's the problem with the phone. So, my plan for staying safe up there. Well, I carry the bear spray. I've got the bear spray on me all the time. So a lot of people talking about not coming up here without a gun. And I have seen people, the hunters, take guns up here. They're not supposed to. Well, there's a trick apparently. Like, you get a wolf tag or a coyote tag, which are good. Apparently, I'm not a hunter, so I don't know. But if you get a wolf tag or a coyote tag, then you can walk around with a gun like you're hunting wolf or coyote because you have the tag. If you don't have a tag, you're not supposed to be carrying a gun. And I think some people have argued with me in the comments, and I'm not an expert in it because I'm not a hunter. I don't have my firearms license, so I really don't, not the person to ask. But according to the ministry guys, they say that that's proof of hunting, carrying a firearm in the bush. That's not the case in the States, but in Canada, like if you're like on a lake in a boat with a fishing rod and you don't have a fishing license, then you get fined, and you can't go, oh, I was just like, they basically, if you're there with fishing gear, it's considered proof of fishing. So that's the same kind of thing. So the wind turbine right now is it pulling its weight? It's not running anything right now. Because like I said, it was for the electric fence, but the electric fence is out of commission. I haven't done the electric fence yet. I have a post hole digger for the tractor, and I don't want to put another one of those tents. They're like, $300 to $500. And where, Becca and I've talked about, like, we'll just put a shed in there. So instead of putting the fence up, which would be good because it did keep the bears from chewing our stuff, I'll back the tractor in there and then dig the post holes and put in like some wood posts for a shed. Um, not a permanent structure, but something that'll last 10 years at least. Uh, so you can store stuff in there. For folks starting out, would I say go wind, solar, or both? I mean, solar's great. Uh, I'll be honest. Like I put it in that video. That video was kind of like, yeah, controversial. I knew when I did it, when I was like, oh, wind's the only way. I was just teasing. I knew that would get people engaging, and it did. So I got to be honest. No problem with solar. Um, okay, here, let me jump back to these questions because I see there's. Where's your two sons to help you? Aren't you glad Arthur helped you during that robbery? Um, Arthur. I don't know. Um, Crispy. You have 3 points. You can increase that. If you want redundancy. L, I don't know what that means. 3 points. Oh, the tower? There's 6 points. Moose? I haven't seen a moose like ever. I'm looking for. So there are a lot of moose, and I'm spending more time. I'm spending more time looking for that stuff. I'm careful with the camera on the river. So I have a camera that's not a GoPro. That it's a Canon camera, and so I've been shooting video because when I go on the river, like, I don't know, I always see moose. Well, in the last few days, I've been shooting video just down the river to catch the moose. I got beaver, I got a bald eagle, which was cool, but I haven't seen any moose since I started shooting. But typically what happens is, like, I come around a corner in the river, and then there's a moose in the river, and it's like you can hear a motor from very far away. Like, I can stand out at the river and I can hear a motor, and I can hear it for like 20 minutes before the boat comes around the corner, right? So they're just way off there, but you can hear it. So the moose don't know how far away the boat is, and they just kind of hang out there. And then what I do is I'll come around the corner, and then there'll be a moose kind of standing there, and it's looking at me, and then it goes up, get out of here, and then it'll like climb out of the river, and you just see the trees parting as it goes away. But it's a cool thing, and I want to get some shots of it so people can see. Wouldn't you want to eventually anchor into the ground? It seems like you could add auger style ground anchors if you go deep enough. Yeah, I mean, I could. I guess the question is, are the trees anchored into the ground better than like an anchor? I don't know. If I had a big long auger that's screwed in, I could do that. But I guess the question is, I haven't run into a problem with the what's it called, the tower so far. So I don't know. I prefer to work on the cabin, I think, than spend some time on the tower. And at least there's like I said, there's 6 cables. So that's why the tower, when the moose tripped through the tower didn't come down, because there were 6. So if I see there's a problem, then I can. Any Sasquatch? Yeah, there's like crazy stuff in these woods. Like, I think most people. I don't want to say. I think most people, if they come up here and you said, okay, just walk through the bush that way, like, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. You don't know what's in there. Well, you know what's in there. There's bears in there. There's moose in there. Um, you know, and who knows what else. Uh, you know, it's so thick, and you're so far. Like, if you get into trouble, uh, like eventually, what I want to do is kind of find an area to put in a helipad, just because I'm paranoid. Like, I think it would be good if there was a, you know, I was doing all that chainsawing, and I thought, like, ooh, what if I had an accident with the chainsaw? Like, I'd be hours to, you know, from a hospital. So, yeah, not good. Um, Stick on phone muffs that are cheap and will fix the wind. Yeah, I don't have those. I have a lot of crazy stuff for my cameras, so sorry about that. I will look into that. I'd prefer just to have like a what's it called, a proper camera, I think, next time. Um, yeah, it's soft ground. I live in the Washington Peninsula in a homemade house. Whoop, things are scrolling by. You know, they screw with me daily. Ah, there you go. Okay, I will get. I will look into a windscreen for the phone. How come your previous video thumbnail shows the cabin built with roof, sides, and a porch, but behind you on the slide video, it does even have 4 sides or a roof yet? Photoshop. It's Photoshop. You know, people don't have a lot of imagination, I suppose. Like, you know, people want to see, like, if you show them kind of a framed wall, they can't kind of go, oh, that's a cabin, right? So, anyways, it's the cabin build. I think eventually what I'll do is like one of those hour-long videos that's like building a cabin from beginning to end. But I have to have the cabin done before I can do that. What area are you in, if you don't mind? I am in the Arctic watershed in Ontario, and specifically it's known as a boreal forest. And it's funny because people always like, "Oh, you're in the swamp." I'm in the boreal forest. That's how our north is. That's what it is. South, there is a place, you know, like Sudbury area, that have like a lot of rock, which is a totally different thing, the Precambrian Shield. But anyways, yeah, boreal forest. Do you have plans for fruit trees and a vegetable garden? I mean, I wonder, like, I kind of would have, I think, put an electric fence around. I think like fruit trees and whatever would just attract the bears. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I don't know how well they would do up here. Fruit trees. I don't know. I like gardens though. Yeah, for sure, garden. People haven't been out fully remote areas, don't really know how thick and difficult the past land is. I think your videos do a good job of showing that. Well, thank you. Yeah, and I think like now, like the new one will be pretty interesting, because there is a you know, just kind of hammering through me, chainsawing through the bush. So, let's see. Yeah, so as far as the cabin goes, people are, you know, wondering, there is a porch. Let's do a walk around here. So these two beams here, this is going to be like a 4-foot porch, and it'll be like a screened-in porch, which you know, we'll have to see how that goes with the bears. But and then there'll be timbers at the front. And my plan, there's a plan. I don't have the timbers in the plan, that particular plan. We were just gonna do like a A-frame, like a small A-frame. But as soon as we got the floor in, we thought it's just not enough space. We did it in VR. We put the SketchUp picture in VR, and so and we wore the VR headset so we could walk around inside, and we are like, you know, for the floor area, it's big, but not if it's an A-frame. You lose a lot of room. So once we got the floor in, we thought, let's just kind of make it a conventional cabin, and then there's going to be a loft. So we've ordered. There's going to be 5 timbers going across. It's a big 6x8 full rough cut timbers for the back end. So have like a loft. There'll be a window in the gable ends, and this wall here doesn't have a window because the wood stove is going to go here, and I'm going to run the chimney pipe out that side. But if you look, there's the plan in one of the posts. So there's going to be a door in the middle and 2 windows on either side. Yeah, I can't wait. Like, the idea was that, like, this trip I'd have it sheeted and, you know, this wall done, sheeted, and then the what do you call it, the rafters. But and I work fast, but the thing is, I just without supplies, I can't get anything into the place. So yeah, it sucks. Who is Roger? So Roger is a really good friend of Becca and I's, and he's kind of our mentor, and you know, he's been helping us. I mean, it wouldn't be, what we're doing probably wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Roger. He hasn't been up here yet, but he will. And I think the next video, like, so Roger like teaching me how to drive a backhoe. So, and I was like, you know, smashing it into the dump truck and stuff like that. But a backhoe would help a lot up here. There's so much stuff that I want to do, and I kind of was thinking we should like get an old bulldozer to like clear land, and then Roger was like, "Oh, you need a backhoe." First thing's always a backhoe. So, anyways, he talked me into that, and then he taught me how to drive his backhoe. So that's going to be in the next video. A couple clips of the backhoe learning. So yeah, he's Roger's key. Do I ever wonder if I'm showing too much doing and not enough story, or the other way around? It's weird. Like, things definitely go a lot slower when you're making a YouTube video. The editing takes a lot of the time. So, but I mean, I was filming this, you know, long before, like, the channel's only 2 months old, and I was filming all of the work, you know, since the beginning. The first few times Becca came up with me, but then, yeah, she wasn't able to come. So a lot of the, you know, I was filming all this material, and then when I came back down, we would just sit there and watch hours of video of the work that I'd done. So let me see. Will this be your long-term living situation? Eventually, yeah. Will you have a well and running water? Yeah. So I'm gonna build a water system. I'm gonna build a water system. The water system is going to have like, it's not going to be a high flow well, so because we don't have that in this area. I'd have to have a well rig like in here and drill a big well. So yeah, we're not going to have that. But I'm going to design and build a system that gets us clean water. So yeah, so a point well, yeah. So you know, you kind of shorten that up to point well, which it's actually a sand point well. You know, and the problem is there's no sand here, but there is sand that way. So on the government land, and I don't know what the rules are about putting a well there, but I have a sand point well here. Like I have the parts, you know, I haven't put it in, but like a pump well, and so definitely, you know, the intention was to drive it. I haven't done it here. There's a lot of, I've drilled holes with the tractor and it's clay, so that's not a good spot to put it in. But I'm going to build a, you know, a well drill, and I'm going to drill in some deep holes. And when I hit bedrock, bedrock's about, according to the drill tables or the well tables, around here is probably about 45 feet. So that's not much. And usually people's home wells, they go down into the bedrock. But as long as I can, I might be able to hit water on top of the bedrock. That happens a lot. You hit like a crack or something. And so I might put a few holes in to see, that's the plan, to see what, if I can get water, and any holes I can't get, aren't producing enough water, I will use as a, for the ground source heat pump. But it's so wet here, like today I dug a little hole for the fire pit and the water was starting to fill up in the hole because it's been just raining like every other day. It's crazy. Yeah, we do. Do we have any large trees? We do. They're not easy to access, and we kind of don't want to take them down because we don't have a lot of them. We have a lot of like small, like these poplars. You can see the white trunks. So if you look around here, like, and this is just, I mean, there's a lot of different areas. There's a lot of black spruce, and you can see the poplars. There's not a lot of birch. There are birch in this area, but I think they were all cut down, and so like these, we don't want to take these down. These evergreen, we don't want to lose. They're just small ones anyways, but there are big ones on the property. But I think like for the time being, we're just gonna haul in lumber. Although it would be, yeah, bring in a sawmill and then you know, it makes things a little easier, right? Anyways, yeah. So well, it's 6 o'clock. I guess if there's any other questions, I need to unload that load of lumber, and then I've been putting the lumber on the barge. So I take the barge, tow it with a canoe down to the boat ramp, and so I gotta do that as well tonight. So it'll probably take me an hour to get down the river with the barge. So I gotta pull that out, and I gotta unload the lumber from the Argo, so I can get back to, you know, reality. This is kind of a little bit crazy. So I get back to reality for tonight. So I still got some work to do there. So I think we'll wrap this up now, and thank you so much for hosting the live and answering all of our curiosities. I hope you can get to sheeting the wall soon. Yeah, thank you very much. And I think it's not going to be this trip. It's going to be Becca and I in August. But that's going to make a big difference. Once we have the cabin and we can stay inside and dry, then it's going to totally change how we this whole adventure. It's going to be a huge paradigm shift because we can just stay in the cabin. And some people said, "Oh, why do you always travel back?" It's like, well, for to be able to sleep in a warm bed and in a trailer. But eventually, once we have a wood stove in there, it's sheeted and dry in. It won't be insulated or anything, but in the beginning, but it'll still be a really great, make a big difference. So, anyways, thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in, and hope you enjoyed the live stream and see where we're at with things. And yeah, I think next week will be another video, so don't worry about that. Yeah, we'll be back at it, and you'll probably get to see some of the stuff I've been doing now. So anyways, have a good one, guys, and stay safe.